enforcement for a magazine. I know y'all have as well, but the question then gets really complicated, right? When you're talking about sexual violence to women and children, specifically children. Can you speak upon your thoughts on that? Because we're going to be doing more talking on this.
Power to the people.
Say where you're from and all that.
Shango A, born here in Oakland, California. You know, I'm from, you know, even though I was born here as Africa, you know, but, well, no, power to the people. So, as far as the police, right? So, being a student of the Black Panther Party, and as a Black Rider, a New Generation Panther, we see the police, as Huey Newton correctly theorized, as an enemy-occupying army. So this whole protect and serve BS is part of their public relations machine to present to the public, the need to give up their own autonomy and be dependent on these people to come solve problems in a community they don't live in, a community they don't never experience none of the conditions in, a community that they're really just there to keep under control. So, but we see this through thorough study because, like, for example, police really protect property more so than lives, you know. And being that working class Black and brown folks don't own no property on a mass scale, they couldn't possibly be there for our best interests, you know. But because of the colonial process, when you start to be oppressed for so long by a foreign entity, you start to take on their characteristics. And the characteristics of the Eurocentric, imperialist, colonialism, you know, capitalist ruling elites is to murder, maim, torture, kill, you know, any threat to their holding of power. So we, as colonized people, begin to mimic these behaviors. But understanding we don't have no real power, we don't mimic these behaviors towards the people who inflict them on us, you know what I'm saying? We mimic those on who are right there, who we know that the system who has the power is not going to give two squirts of duck shit about. People that look like you and me. People who are just as a fucked up situation as we're in. You feel me? So it's a matter of the colonial psychology and training the oppressed to be docile towards their enemy and actively, you know, hostile towards our potential allies. You know, our allies that make the most sense, people that are in the same situation as us. So, you know, there's a process by which, particularly in the Black family, where the Black male has been separated from the home and given a false patriarchal identity of hyper-masculinized kill machine towards things that the system has presented towards us, you know? So when it comes to our women, whether it be our sisters, our, you know, our wives and children or whatever, you know, we try to overexert that hyper-masculine, you know, energy because we feel a lack of control over what should naturally be ours, being able to protect our village, you know, because we've been taught to fear the police. So we strike out on who we don't fear. You know, it's like the bully, the theory of the bully, right? If you keep ignoring the bully, they're going to keep feeding off the fact that they can capitalize off your energy. But if you start to stand up, even if you don't win, eventually they'll start to change the psychology back. You know, but we don't really attack the bully. We become the bully of who we feel comfortable bullying, which is our own peoples, because we're in a state of being weak. You know, we don't have no power. Power is the ability to define phenomenon and make it act in a desired manner. We don't have that ability as of right now. We have the potential, you know, but we don't exercise it. So we exercise a sense of false power, a sense of false pride for immediate gratitude, immediate self-gratification rather than protracted struggle, you know. So with that, it's like Malcolm X said, you know, the mistake we have is trying to get action with a sleeping people. You want action, you got to wake the people up. We'll take it a step further and say you wake the people up with action. You feel me? Coordinated scientific action. You know, so different things like for example, people see us around all up and down Black Arthur, like watching the police, mobbing up on them. They'll, you know, for any reason, you know, they see us. Yes, sir. Anytime we see them pull us over for any reason, we'll post up. And if the people see that, they learn through observation and participation, whether or not they come to our political education class, whether they can give up their illegitimate capitalist tactics, they come out there and watch the police with us because they see us in their best interest and they see power being exerted in the right way, you know. So with that, that is an action that helps people learn from example. You know, not just necessarily giving the best analysis of the wretched of the earth or a long ass political dissertation. You know, you see it in action. So this is one of the main ways. Frantz Fanon, one thing he does say is that the oppressed shall be baptized with the blood of their oppressor. And what that means to me is that you're not going to get brothers out here who may be enacting violence against other brothers or even sisters in the community who are not a real threat to them until you actually show them that resistance is possible towards the one that we've been taught to fear. And you actually give them an example, you know? So it's like, and I'm not suggesting that we out of nowhere just go and gung-ho, you know, load up right now and do a suicide mission, but we build small victories, build up the people's confidence. You know, to watch a pig isn't the ultimate military aim or goal in the end of being free. You know, it's gonna take some bloodshed on both sides, you know? But that presents the idea in a comprehensive form for the people to actually dissect it themselves. You know, it's visible, it's right there, they can't avoid it, you know? That's, you know, a lot more tangible than maybe necessarily drawing up a petition for some of the, what we call lumpen proletariat out here, you know? So the only way we're gonna be able to stop that violence is to sustain alternative institutions paralleled with actions that'll help baptize our people that are sick with self-hatred into actually realizing there's real respect to be gained by riding on the fascist enemy. You know, you get more respect from me when you get at the beast than you do for beating up the biggest oppressed person on the block, you know? So, but we need to consistently give that example to the people in order for, you know, them to actually take up the torch and build on that analysis, you know? So, well, hi to the people.